Welcome and welcome back to another reveal. We got our official one and also a ton of actual leaks. I'm not even using that in a weird way. Like, I don't know if they intentionally meant to share this, so let's talk about it all. First things first. The reveal videos, I haven't really been focusing on that much because typically they've just been, here's your task, here's your reward, showcasing one of the tiles. But there's actually a couple things in here that they don't explicitly call out that I think are really important. And the first one, I've got this paused here on what looks like this Soul Spear weapon. Now, we kind of figured that we were going to get some of the Echo items from the last league, but we didn't know exactly where they were going to come from. And while this doesn't tell us where it is on the board, the fact that they are using the Soul Spear in this showcase, I mean, we've got it. That's what I'll say. We've definitely got it. You can see I'm using like the AoE right here. It's a really cool weapon. Probably my favorite or my second favorite of the things that we got from Echo bosses in the last year. Really strong, scales with prayer to do more damage. Skritic had a great video on like a prayer build for this thing that just did a ton of damage. And also, even if you didn't do some sort of prayer setup, just the AoE on the spec, super nice. Now, the big part of this reveal was the Guardian Relic, and the task being to complete the Inferno in 30 minutes or less. So that's explicitly the thing they were trying to reveal today. I find it interesting, actually, that they summoned two, but in the past, I believe it's only been one. I think they say that on the post itself, which we'll go over to the board as well so you can see what that looks like. But something else I wanted to highlight in here is they show someone continuously high-alking while they are in the Saradomin and God Wars area. So there is a leak related to this too, but this all just tells me Golden God's coming back, guys. I think we're getting that one again, because who was going to be manually standing in there alking? You know what I mean? But that's kind of it for this video specifically. So let's transition over to the news post. Here we are. We've got ourselves a brand new tile showing. This is for that completing Inferno in less than 30 minutes. And of course, the Guardian Relic itself with, a little bit more info kind of right here. The Guardian Relic was an interesting one last year. I think by itself, it feels a little lackluster because you're essentially getting a little buddy who runs around with you for 30 minutes and just kind of does some more damage. So it doesn't necessarily feel like crazy by itself. But the fact that this doesn't appear to have any choices alongside it means we just get this thing for free. And as just like a standalone power-up, this is going to be extremely good because you just summon this thing and it does a lot of damage. I mean, it's just like straight up DPS increase. You can even use it inside the gauntlet, which is kind of interesting. And of course, this is a hard task over here on the edge of the board. So interesting, because I feel like, doing a couple of TOAs for a purple, not that difficult. 30-minute Inferno, I mean, it's probably not that difficult with all the powers that we're going to have here. I know a lot of people may feel like, the Inferno is like a really large challenge for them. We've got a lot of tiles, a lot of powers that we're going to get. We haven't even seen like the end rows, end column bonuses too. So if you're someone who's worried about trying to complete this one, I really think we're going to be quite strong going into the Inferno, even if this is one of the last few tiles that you complete. I think, much like the last league, anyone who went into it, I felt like they could complete the Inferno. 30 minutes definitely makes it harder. It's not just defeating the Inferno, so you do have to like kind of be up on your game. But I mean, man, we've only seen what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these tiles and the related powers. Like, we've got a long way to go. This is a big board. One other thing that we got on here as well is a sort of a little bit of a teaser. This is again one of these corner tiles. Blood, Sweat, and Tears is what it says going to be the task. Kind of makes me think something related to Theater of Blood, though I'm curious what all you think. And the reward, this is a bunch of quest-related NPCs. So my speculation here is this particular tile, we're going to have to do something in Theater of Blood, and this is going to be where we unlock some quest lines. Whether it'll be a choice or not, it's hard to say because they haven't given us much here. But, I mean, for this being a pretty short game mode, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually just give us all of these major quest lines, because while some of these are kind of obscure, we've got at least Seraphina is like the vampire quest line, someone related to Theater of Blood. Owen comes from the Tehranwyn quest line, so the elf quest line. It's the same with these other three. They're kind of NPCs that exist in some of these larger quest lines. So I'm kind of expecting we're going to see some sort of quest autocomplete in this tile over here. And while we're on the topic, there was also a couple other things that changed here, which kind of seem to suggest some of the echo items coming back. We've got this first one here, which is kind of looking like maybe the Barrow's gloves. The second one saying woof, which was the sound effect for the dog sword last year. And then pull the lever, Krunk. Wrong lever. Probably like the wilderness lever. Now, we still don't know exactly what these are, but once we talk a little bit about some of the leaks, we're going to see these again, so we'll circle back to those. Now, before we get into all the leaks, I do want to also shout out, this was what they revealed for us yesterday. They are doing a competition with this game mode where the first 3 players who complete the entire grid are going to be able to help design a relic for the next league. So, pathing on this suddenly became really important. Will anyone complete the board with the Lesser Demon at the Wizard's Tower being one of the tasks? I don't know, man. That's that one right there. That might kill the entire run for literally everyone in the game. But okay, that is the reveals for today. So what about these leaks? I said about half of the board has been revealed, and it's a lot. Avert your gaze now if you don't want a bunch of these things spoiled for you, assuming that they're true. Now, big shout out to the Discord community. We had folks like Pan, who was going through and scraping assets off of the website following today's update, and he pulled a ton of images that were all labeled with different row column counts. And then Timo for helping put together this board for folks so it's kind of easier to look at than the individual images themselves. And there is a lot going on here, so I'm going to hide myself a little bit while we talk about it. So what we've got here are kind of these speculative tiles that the Discord community was able to scrape together, highlighted in red. So we have things like a shark, a maple log, this gold ore, looks like the gem crab, Bryophyta, Temperos. So there is a ton of tasks, and let's just talk about each of them. Granted, these are not official reveals, so Jagex could always be trolling us. There's always that opportunity that they're like, we know this community is smart, and we know that they're going to be clicking a bunch of stuff. Let's get them, boys. Let's put all this fake junk out and make everybody throw their hands up and freak out. Now, I don't think that's true for at least the majority of these because, especially when looking at some of the rewards, some of the stuff we've seen before, like Golden God, maybe. But let's go through it a little bit. So, just kidding. I decided I want you to see my pretty face while I'm talking. All right, what have we got? We have got a handful of what look like skilling tiles. This one over here looks like Barlamore thieving. You can thieve wealthy citizens, you get keys, and then when you go into the house, you get these valuables that you can eventually sell off. So, if we're getting a task associated to something like this, you know, it might be steal from a house 1,000 times, or turn in 1,000 valuables to the NPC that you trade them to. Something along those lines is what I would expect. And on the flip side, the reward that it looks like we're getting is Golden God. Now, because these are just image leaks, we don't have the specific details about what this is. So they could always have changed this. However, I sort of expect it's gonna be the same. We've basically seen from some of the other reveals that they've done, if they're using the relics from last year, they're basically the same or a little bit better. You know, Guardian, Slayer Master, the Gathering Tools, Production Prodigy, they all function essentially the same. Some of them have been buffed slightly. So I'm imagining for this, Golden God, what we got previously, get the wiki page up here for anyone who wants to read it. It's going to allow you to use the High Alchemy spell with no rune cost. It's also going to give you more gold and give you a chance to save the item as you're alching. Plus, it makes alchemy just like a passive thing that you do. You just start alching a stack of stuff, have like a noted stack of rune items, and it's going to keep going. This also allowed you to use coins for prayer on altars with the equivalent XP of Dragon Bones. So you could take a huge stack of cash, go out to something like the Chaos Altar in the Wilderness, and just plant yourself there, I mean, pretty much permanently, and just get free 99 prayer, free 200 mil prayer. There was also a benefit that this would allow you to note items when buying them from shops, similarly to Fire Sale, if you remember that one. So all in all, this was a really, really strong relic, and from what we already know on the board, getting Combatant allows you to pick 3 combat styles. And I've said this a couple of times. Now, assuming that this Golden God works the same way as last year, it's going to automatically train magic, and it's also going to essentially train prayer for you as well. Which means, for something like combatant, you could pick magic and then pick 2 other combat skills that you don't want to train. And while it is passively alching everything for you in that stack, not only is it training magic, it's going to passively train those other 2 for you as well. So that's really strong. And the other strong suit of Golden God was how quickly you could get that prayer up. I mean, it was a lot of GP. I don't remember the exact number, but you're sitting on like 200 mil GP. You just go out to the Chaos Altar and you spam click between the altar. It'd take you like an hour or something to get 99 prayer. It was super, super fast. So much like with kind of the passivity of magic, in combatant, you could pick prayer and 2 other things that you just don't care to train in combat. And that, again, is going to be free, really fast 99s for you. So I really hope this one is true. I think that would be a super fun combo. And thieving in Varlamore is actually like a fairly low requirement. You can access wealthy citizens at 50 thieving, and they also have that passive where sometimes you can just AFK pickpocket them, you won't fail. So it's going to be like quite easy to get some keys stacked up and then go into the houses. If you're not familiar with Varlamore thieving, even if it's a stack of 1,000 of these valuables, when you're in one of the houses thieving, I mean, you probably get like 70 to 100 of these valuables per house if you're there for the entire time. So it really is not going to take you very long to build that up. So I would not be surprised to see folks come in and do this task fairly early because Golden God is just that strong. Keeping in the top half of this, we also have ourselves a maple log. Since this is in the easier row, my guess is this is literally just chop a maple log. And what's really interesting is the reward that was tied to this is another choice for the Gathering Relic. And I almost wonder if we're going to get a third one down here as well, so that we'll eventually get all 3 tools. So right now, it's looking like we're going to get a pick 2. So if you were on the fence between something like Animal Wrangler or Power Miner or Trash Can, now you don't have to feel as bad. And shoot, if we get another third one over here for this, what looks like a gold ore task, mining a gold ore, these are going to be super fast. And you either take the mining one or the woodcutting one first so that you can pick up a second tool. Then you take the one that you didn't grab early so you can do the third one, get the third tool. Man, that would be pretty sweet. Moving up a little bit, we do have a shark here. Looks like another skilling one. It's probably just catching a shark. Now, what's interesting about this is not a familiar relic. I don't know what this is. Has anybody seen this before? I'm pretty sure that this wasn't in past leagues, so this may be something entirely new. Get a stinky little fish relic. Who knows what that's going to do? What I'll be really curious on is if this gives us some sort of cooking or fishing passives. It might invalidate Animal Wrangler a little bit. Now, Animal Wrangler still has Hunter, and I really suspect that they're going to give us a third one, a third choice for the gathering tools down here. But something to think about once we get a little bit more information for whatever this thing is. Shoot, maybe it's something related to food? Maybe you can eat like raw food? That doesn't seem quite right though, does it? Doesn't seem particularly powerful. I don't know, you guys will have to tell me what you think of whatever this one is. Stinky Shark Relic, that's what we're calling it. Moving back over here to tasks. So we've got Temperos on here, and what looks like just the crafting skill symbol. So it's really hard to know what exactly that's going to do. But having a task associated to Temperos is pretty close to the center, so it's going to be one of the easy ones. It might be as simple as completing a game of Temperos, or maybe it'll be getting like the KC combat task, like, do 5 Temperos, do 10 Temperos, something along those lines. Likewise, we also have this gem crab tile and the woodcutting icon. I'm really at a loss when I see stuff like this, man. I don't know. Are we just going to get free XP on these skills? Maybe. Now, the gem crab, I mean, it could be go and kill the gem crab. I almost wonder if it'll be mine the gem crab, which would make it slightly more challenging. It's still like a fairly easy task to do, but the gem crab does have a mechanic where only the top 16 damage dealers get to actually mine the thing. So we'll have to see if we get some more information on it. If it's just kill the gem crab, I mean, that one's free for everybody. If it's mining the gem crab, then you may have to get a little bit more power in order to get to the top of that list, the top 16, Or if you do it super early on, then that might work out as well. There's not actually a mining requirement to mine the gem crab, so you can be level 1 mining, but you have to get into the top 16 damage dealers for this in order for you to mine it, unless they change it for GridMaster, but I would be a little surprised if they did. Now, what is next on the list here is Bryophyta, or what looks like Bryophyta. Now, they did recently change this and Obor, so you don't technically need keys in order to farm the boss, but it doesn't really give you drops. Now, I do kind of wonder if it'll be like opening one boss chest from Bryophyta, because if you're not familiar, you have to, you can kill the boss, but if you want an actual roll on the loot table that you're used to, you have to have a key, and there's a little chest that you can open in the room. So that's kind of what I see, something like this. That would also make it free-to-play friendly. I mean, keep in mind that we are going to have some free-to-play tasks in here, since free-to-play is going to have access to it. And the reciprocal reward for this looks like something related to combat. While I don't think we've seen this exact symbol before, I'm kind of expecting, since it shows all three here, we're likely going to see either like an attack speed reduction on all three styles, so everything's going to be attacking faster, or maybe we'll see something like more accuracy, more damage. It's also possible that this will have a passive on here that saves charges, because we've had that as well in the past. Granted, that is a lot for one tile, considering how many tiles we still have on here, so we'll have to see what they do, but I think, especially if you consider this being a free-to-play tile, I bet that this will be something related to attack speed. Make things attack 33% faster, 50% faster, something similar to what we've seen in previous leagues, because that is probably one of the most fun things that you can get during the leagues, is that extra power to literally any weapon that you use. And can you imagine as a free-to-play player with your like ruined two-hander running around and you're just like, psh, psh, psh. Come on, they want people to experience that, you know? Moving down here, we got a max cape, but it's not on a particularly hard tile, so I'm kind of suspicious of this one. Now, hear me out. This game mode is meant to be casual. A 30-minute Inferno kill is already kind of pushing it, I think, for a casual mode like this. Maxing your account, while I do think is possible for everybody in 4 weeks if they give us a strong enough XP multiplier, plus all of these other powers that are out here. But come on, I mean, if they were going to include that, it would have to be a corner tile. I think there's probably no way that it's like, go and max your account. That seems wild. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know, man. I don't buy it. Now, I could see something like having to go and talk to Max, which is the guy who sells the Max cape, because you don't actually have to be maxed to get to him. And I'll put it up here on screen just so you can see the requirements. Being able to enter the Warriors Guild, being able to chop down the evergreen tree, that's a 99 wood cutting. Climbing over the tree stump is 99 agility. Mining the rock slide, 99 mining. Jumping over the rock slide, 99 defense. And then making a raft, boarding the raft is 99 crafting, 99 construction. Still a lot of 99s, some of them worse than others. Looking at you, agility. But considering kind of the rest of the league, I mean, we're going to have something like Golden God, which is going to make training things like crafting and construction pretty much a joke. We can pick up the axe. The axe finally has a use. Burn our way through a bunch of logs on our way to 99 wood cutting. If we get to pick all three, I mean, 99 mining is going to be really quick with the gathering axe there. Combats are going to be fast with combatant. I don't know about agility. I mean, agility is probably going to be fast. We'll probably get something like more tickets, maybe, from the Brimhaven Arena, or like passive agility XP. We've seen that one before as well. So we'll probably be able to get 99 without hating our lives running laps over and over again. I hope. I pray. But I could very much see something like that for this tile, where it's still fairly difficult, but given all of the powers that we've got, it's not unreasonable for people to reach that. It's only, what is that, 5, 6 99s? I can't believe I'm saying it's only 5 or 6 99s. Oh, man, dude. Well, we'll have to see on this one, but I will be really surprised if they make us max an account to get a tile. It is possible, though, but man, if that's true, why is it here on, like, a medium difficulty tile? Look, I know we get better XP, but that's still, like, a ton of work. And as a reward, we get some also unknown relic. I don't think we've had this one before either, and I don't even see anything that it's, like, similar to. I'm really not sure. And maybe we'll get this as, like... No, I don't know. I have no idea. Who wants to speculate on the like Shining Sun relic? Any ideas? What does this even mean? Or is this like a Calphite thing kind of? I don't know, man. It does kind of have that Calphite queen look. You get a little pincers in here, you know? You got some like little legs hanging out. I'm at a loss, dude. I have no idea. What if they're gonna make us max? This better be something really good, dude. Next up on the tiles, we have got the Demonic Throne, which is a 99 construction thing. But again, if we have access to Golden God, it's going to be really fast. Construction was one of the fastest skills that you could get up during the league. And especially when combined with something like Golden God, where you can just make the most expensive junk ever, and it doesn't matter because you have infinite money. This one, while it is technically hard-ish by comparison, I really don't think it's going to be bad for folks to do. And on the flip side, the reward for it is the Koppish Blade, which was the wilderness weapon from last year. Super, super, super strong. This thing had like some AoE lightning damage going on. Just it would happen at 20% of the time whenever you hit. So it was already really good, but it also had a special that just guaranteed that you would get that AoE effect going on it. And man, if you paired this with something like the special relic where you could get like 5 of these specs off, it would just melt everything. And the stats on it actually are quite good because it's similar to the Salad Blade that you get from the Corrupted Gauntlet. So, like, this is a really strong one-handed weapon as well. Shoot, it almost makes me think if we're going to get something like this, and, I mean, that's, like, fairly easy to pick up, I'm kind of changing my mind on the Scythe pickup. This thing will carry you through just about anything that you want anyway. Maybe T-Bow's on top. You pick up the Koppish Blade over here, you run some TOAs, you get yourself a free T-Bow. That sounded like a pretty good combo to me. And the last tile that they have here, this is the Ancients symbol. And it does say that it's really difficult, so maybe they're actually going to have us completing a quest in order to get this tile. Like completing the Desert Treasure line, maybe, or maybe it'll be something like take down each of the Desert Treasure 2 bosses. I could see something like that. And we've got this wonky-looking party hat helmet thing going on. I mean, this is definitely something Fremnicky looking. And considering Fremnick last year had the, like, big combination jewelry, maybe this is the ugliest looking big combo helmet for like best in slot everything in your helmet slot. I could see it. The Fremnicks are known for their helmets. If that is true, we are going to be looking so funky running around in this thing with a Koppish Blade. We'll have to see. And last but certainly not least, we've got those items on here for the speculation. The Fancy Barrels gloves, the dog sword, and maybe the Koppish shield. It would go nicely with the Koppish Blade, but those are pretty light teasers, so certainly a bit up in the air. We'll have to see. I mean, I guess Woof has to be this, right? I mean, why else would they put Woof there? Like, it's going to be the sword. We'll have to see on those. Granted, I guess everything that I've just said for the last 20 minutes is all speculation, because for all we know, they're just trolling us, and they gave us all of these images to find for funsies, I guess. I think there's no way. Maybe some of the newer stuff, since it doesn't already exist, it's like maybe. Something like Golden God, though, I mean, they've got to make this return. That thing was so fun. Same with, like, the Koppish Blade. Like, we're definitely going to get that. There's just no way that we don't. But what do you guys think of all of this speculation? Should we trust Pan and all of his images scraped off of the assets part of the website? Shout out again to Timo as well for helping put this board together. It's a great way to visually represent it, because, man, looking at those files with all the row pieces, not great. And I was really worried I was going to have to get off work and create this graphic. So I greatly appreciate your help, sir. But that is it for today. Man, golly, what a ton of stuff. So much stuff to digest. So many things that you guys are going to have to tell me your thoughts on like half of this stuff, man. But anyway, I will stop the ramble there. I highly recommend checking out the Zaya Locked series over on this side while you're waiting for the next reveal. And if the next reveal is already out, I will have that link down below me. So with that, have a good one, and I will catch you in the next one.